nuclear weapon, and they are the leading sponsor of terrorism.
Barack Obama was a great statesman who left America much safer. I wouldn't put Donald Trump in the same paragraph. The reality is when President Obama left, because of the great efforts of people like Valerie Jarrett, we had 97% of the enriched uranium out. The reality is we didn't have 13 American service members dead. The reality is we never had gas go up from $2.30 to $4. The reality is we did not get China's role in the region. Let me finish. We didn't get China role in the region. We did not get the IRGC a more hard regime in there. You know why? Because Obama did his homework. He actually tried to engage in states which he had gotten. He got China, Russia, the entire European allies on board with getting Iran on a path to not having a nuclear weapon. All Trump did is listen to that. That's his entire foreign policy. And you know what? I resent that Israel is going to tell the United States what to do. The American president should call the shots in this country.
And, well, the American president should call the shots in this country, but you...
Then he talked about how you want to just throw $400 million more.
Help me out here.
You've supported several unsuccessful resolutions to limit President Trump's war powers in Iran. Do you think President Trump will be able to secure congressional authorization for this war?
No, first let me be clear. We need to end this war. Americans are struggling. The gas prices are up, food prices are up, housing costs are up. The reason those prices are up is because the Strait of Hormuz is closed and because of this war. It's caused devastation for working families. The president can't say that he will bring prices down. Prices are up in his administration. And the way most Americans want this war to be Republicans believe we need negotiation or let's just say and the war Americans agree with the Pope. We need a negotiated settlement this morning and this week.
And then he was on Fox again, and he was talking about how you don't get to threaten genocide.
Fucker had me trapped.
People need to look at the history of the way that President negotiates these things and to receive it. You know,
oh, bitch, come on!
Serious, stick.
Oh, shit! Damn, I got thrown in the
You don't have to threaten genocide to get Iran to open up the Strait of Hormuz. I mean, we've lost the plot here. The president has lost the plot. The president said that he wanted to free the Iranian people. Now he's talking about destroying them.
I just been speaking with a lot of Iranian activists. They want this.
They want him to threaten to wipe out 91
I think they understand what I don't think anyone talked about
this. Is not a United States deal. He's the president of the United States.
Yeah.
The commander-in-chief.
What are you going to get to the question? What are you going to say?
So, what did Fox try to do in order to appease Donald and everybody? You need to buy right around the
whole. Who said President Trump will be able to?
We didn't get China more role in the region. We did not get the IRGC a more hardline regime in there. You know why? Because Obama actually did his homework. He actually tried to engage in states which he had gotten. He got China, Russia, the entire European allies on board with getting Iran on a path to not having a nuclear weapon. All Trump did is listen to Netanyahu. That's his entire foreign policy. And you know what?
Sounds like Olivia McConnell told Mr. Bastion to account. All but threatened to cut the poor bastard's nuts off.
Hey, who this guy?
Well, the American president should call the shots in this country, but you...
Then he talked about how, now you want to just throw $400 million split.
You've supported several unsuccessful resolutions to limit President Trump's war powers in Iran. Do you think President Trump will be able to secure congressional authorization?
Shit, he's taking us off. I'm ducking down.
The Academy gives for mother of the boy. The weakest beast in the entire school.
Laughter spread among the students, humiliating us in front of everyone.
He's fucking dropping us.
Continued wiping the floor.
did you think your son would become a warrior? A strength commander, pathetic.
He's here! Here! Over here! Shit! Yes! We got some out though, man! Down here! Grabbing some cover! Shit! He has been pinned down! Dropping like fucking flies!
Oh, come on, what the fuck?
I turned toward the bus.
Come on, oh my god.
You hit my mama. Now I'll make you regret it.
Come on.
No, Chris, let me be clear. We need to end this war. Americans are struggling. The gas prices are up, food prices are up, housing costs are up. The reason those prices are up is because Rainbow Moose is closed, and because of this war. It's caused devastation for working families. The president ran saying that he would bring prices down. Prices are up in his administration. And the way most Americans want this war ended, 54% of Republicans believe we need negotiation to end the war. The Pope is saying, end the war. Americans agree with the Pope. We need a negotiated settlement, and this war needs to end this week.
And then he was on Fox again, and he was talking about how, you don't need to threaten genocide to get Iran to open up these strait of
Timer would say his hound would start running in circles before.
The history of the way that regimes take action. Even, unless you're very clear and you have a serious, stick that you're holding over this situation, you're not likely to get anywhere.
You don't have to threaten genocide to get Iran to open up the Strait of Hormuz. I mean, we've lost the plot here.
Need to lose the blue in Frisco Fields.
The president went in to say that he wanted to free the Iranian people. Now he's supposed to even destroy them.
I just been speaking with the
Hell, I got here to It's hard that, right?
Damn, we got me.
Switch that out! Eyeballing his ass!
So, what did Fox try to do in order to appease Donald Trump? Well, they brought this new Kevin Hassett, Donald Trump's national economic advisor, who's quite literally been wrong.
I see him. There he is.
And this is the guy telling everybody you need to buy right before the dot-com boom went bust. And there was the dot-com crash. He was the guy who said, buy. The next day, he put out a book right around the same thing before the Great Recession. The guy is a great indicator of you, the opposite of what you said. He lies all the time. He's wrong about it. But I just want to show you, you have Donald Trump attacking and then so state regime puts on the regime guy, Hassett. And then Hassett preemptively blames Democrats in blue states for the fact that GDP is not growing.
Dropping like fucking flies!
We're looking at 4% economic growth because of all the productivity from AI, all the capital spending, and
This is
so
the
on.
way!
The drag on the economy is that the blue states are actually hemorrhaging jobs. And so it'd be disappointing at all. It would be because of like what happens to New York City, what happens to California, because of these misguided policies.
Well, as Maria always says, money is mobile.
And then he lies because we get on Fox. Unlike Ro Khanna, who deals with facts, deals with the truth. The Trump regime's national economic.
You better be fucking with her. Hell did they get? Look someplace else, boys. Only so many places to hide.
That's when they were eating cats and dogs. Remember? It was all illegal. Just completely off. What I mean, it was all illegal. That's their go-to move. Just lie. These sociopath, psychotic liars just show up there and go, good.
That's him. Let's go.
They lie about it.
Grabbing some cover.
Right to work. And we did analysis when we presented to the White House that showed that almost all of the job creation that
Get your ass
happened
around
in was the employment of illegal aliens. And so, by securing the border, by
This is the way you
reinforcing
die.
immigration law, there were some that said that
I spotted him.
without that worker workers to grow the economy. You remember that. But this great economy jobs going to American citizens, which is really
Oh, come on, quit me when I'm go. Lord have. Oh my God.
All right.
Oh, quit me on you.
Are we thinking for next year? What are you thinking? I think 6%. We'll do 60. Okay. Here, play this clip right here.
if you look at how fast the capital stock is growing, that's sort of like how much stuff that we make stuff with. It's between 5 and 8% right now. If you divide that by 3, that's about how much GDP growth you get out of just capital spending. We've got productivity growth at 2.5. I think we really could be looking at numbers north of 4, north of 5, north of even 6 because there's so much capital stock growth right now. Remember that the 2% number that you saw for GDP growth. The reason why it was 2% and not 4 or 5% was that we imported a record number of capital goods because we're building all these factories. Once we turn those factories on, you're going to see it really growth unlike anything we've seen before.
And then Ray Barber was like, all right, well, in terms of gas prices, is this going to mean higher gas prices for consumers? And then Ken Mason's like, well, in the short run, but we're right around the corner. Don't you worry. Right around the corner, that's the golden age. You know, we told you that it would be the second quarter of last year, then the third quarter, then the fourth quarter, then the first quarter. It's right around Korea. We're right where we need to be right now. Here, play this clip.
So, in terms of the price of oil and gas,
Oh, what the hell?
this has to be under costs.
You shot. Oh my God, how the fuck you
Well,
get
it
there?
does in the short run, and you mentioned Secretary Bessent, who follows these numbers, and he made a lot of money following these numbers in the past and being able to trade. And he says these futures markets are saying that basically once we get the Strait open, then there's going to be a gusher of oil released from the Gulf. And
Yeah.
if you look at how fast the capital stock is growing, that's
under Biden, all the jobs were illegal aliens. That's why they were eating your cats and dogs, remember? It was all illegal. Just completely false. What do you mean it was all illegals? That's their go-to move. Just lie. These sociopath, psychotic liars just show up there and go, illegal. Dude, they lie about everything. Play this clip right here.
right to word. And we did an analysis when we first got into the White House that showed that almost all of the job creation that happened under President
Oh,
Biden
that's really
was
sounds
the
really
employment of
cute.
illegal aliens. And so, by securing the border, by reinforcing immigration law, there were some that said that we never really would have enough workers to grow the economy. You can remember that.
There, how you like that?
It is great high-paying jobs going to American citizens, which is really
Running for cover!
Alright, so what kind of GDP growth are we thinking for next year? What are you thinking? 6%? We'll do 60.
Fuck me!
Okay, here, play this clip right here.
If you look at how fast the capital stock is growing, that's sort of like how much stuff that we make stuff with. It's between 5 and 8% right now. If you divide that by 3, that's about how much GDP growth you get.
I got that cocksucker.
We've got productivity growth at 2.5. I think we really could be looking at numbers north of 4, north of 5, north of even 6 because there's so much capital stock growth right now. Remember that the 2% number that you saw for GDP growth, the reason why it was 2% and not 4 or 5% was that we imported a record number of capital because we're building all these factories. Once we turn those factories up, you're going to see you really grow up like anything we've seen.
And then Ray Barber was like, all right, well, in terms of gas prices, is this going to mean higher gas prices for consumers?
Get behind him!
Oh, you bet.
Right around the corner, that's the golden age. You know, we told you that it would be the second quarter of last year, then the third quarter, then the fourth quarter, then the first quarter. It's right around Korea, the citizens. We're right where we need to be right now. Korea, we're playing this play.
So, in terms of the price of oil and gas and the spike, this has to mean higher costs for American consumers.
Well, it does in the short run. And you mentioned Secretary Bessent follows these numbers. And, he made a lot of money following these numbers in the past and being able to trade. And he says these futures markets are saying that basically once we get the Strait open, then there's going to be a gusher of oil released from the Gulf, and that's going to help push prices down. there's a little bit of a timeline with that. We've got to get the boats to they're developed, especially Asia, where chemical prices are so high, that can take a month or two. But once, basically winter approaches,
Ah,
we
fucking.
expect oil prices to drop relatively quickly and certainly ahead of production.
Take him
Hey,
down.
David, wow.
What are we talking about here? Let everybody hit subscribe. We're about to hit 7 million
Headshot.
subscribers. Hit subscribe right now. Thanks everybody for watching. Latest energy.
Oh no! Come on! Oh! Oh! No, that wasn't right.
Her new mission list, including brands like lard and cocaine, have been linked to serious complications such as abdominal pain, adhesions, infections, bowel.
This is LBC, from Global, leading Britain's conversation with James O'Brien. Good morning, 3 minutes after
I mean,
10 is
all
the
the way up
time.
to the motherfucking top. Ran out of ammo.
And I got you by Sonny and Cher, which I don't think you need to be a massive cineast to recognise as a motif most obviously associated with the opening moments of Groundhog Day, or the recurring opening moments of Groundhog Day, the Bill Murray film. Because how do you do it, do you think? How do you focus on meaningful questions when the man in charge is mad? I think we began last week's practice. Was it the week before? Pointing out that Donald Trump is a deranged liar, and it makes analysis, it makes prediction almost impossible. So let's just recap briefly. Right? This isn't a war. It is an quote excursion, a word that has no meaning in the context of what's happening in the Middle East, and the word that Donald Trump has used repeatedly. I think, honestly, because someone used the word incursion in front of him, and he misheard, misunderstood, and carried on regardless. So this is a war. It's an excursion. We have won the war so successfully. But if people don't send us help, then they will suffer unimaginable punishment. If they don't send us help, we certainly then I'm going to be furious with him because he's not Winston Churchill. Of course, reports that Donald Trump thinks that Winston Churchill is an insurance company.
Gonna choke the life out of you.
So it is. Get that stupid son of a bitch. We don't need help, except we do need help.
We getting shot up. Get down here.
Fuck's sake. And then you come to this.
Oh, come
They
on.
claim that it is not necessary for America to stay in the area, followed within a couple of hours. They claim that it is absolutely necessary to stay in the area. In fact, if Iran don't open the Strait of Hormuz immediately, then he's going to start blowing up power plants. But an hour before that, he made it absolutely clear that they can just leave anyway because they don't get affected by the partial closure of the Strait of Hormuz, so they don't need to worry about it anyway. Maybe they will leave it all to allies or to NATO. So, to recap again, it's not a war, it's an incursion, but we've won the war. We haven't won the war, but we definitely don't need help. We do need help, but we don't need aircraft carriers. We do need aircraft carriers, and you better jolly well send them. The Strait of Hormuz is not a problem for us. We can just leave it and go home now because we've won the war that isn't a war, except that we need to open the Strait of Hormuz, and if our allies don't come and help us soon, then I'll be absolutely furious. And it's 6 minutes after 10. I've only been speaking for 2 or 3 minutes. It's a war, but it's not a war. We've won it, but we haven't won it, but we have won it. We don't need help, but we do need help, but we don't need help. But he's Vicky Pollard. He's Vicky bloody Pollard, isn't he? Yes, but no, but no, but yes, but yes, but no, but no, but no, but yes, but. So it's a war, but it's not a war. We've won it, but we haven't won it, but we have won it.
We don't need help, but we do need help. But we don't need help, but we do need help. Yes, but we do. But we don't. Yes, but we do. The Strait of Hormuz is nothing to do with us, but we're going to have to get it open because it's really important. But we don't need it. But we don't need help. But we do need help. But we need to get it open. These situations are not funny, and yet they kind of are. I don't know how amusing it would be if you had family in the area, anywhere in the area, but they are not funny situations. These scenarios are not funny, and yet we still lack the what's the word I'm looking for? We still lack the vocabulary.
I'm in Frisco and I could use some supplies.
I'll head your way now.
The point of this program, the question you have no doubt asked yourself many times in the past. I know Keith has. But what is the point of this program? When we routinely, and of course imperfectly and very fallibly, but we routinely take indisputable facts and discuss them. Or if we are discussing disputable facts, we acknowledge the differences and the intersection, if you like, dispute that must become therefore irrefutable, the things upon which everyone.
Let me see what you got.
So if it was sport, you could be passionately supporting one side or the other, but you'd have to agree on what the offside rule was, even if you were disagreeing furiously on whether or not it had just been breached by your player or their player. What do you do when the referee holds up all the cards he's got, blows his whistle, and awards a goal all at the same time? What do you do when the referee or the man in charge of the whole game says black is white, up is down, freedom is slavery, ignorance is strength, war is peace? There is a war, but there's not a war. It's an excursion. But we've won it, except we haven't won it, and we don't need help, but we do need help, but we don't need aircraft carriers, but we do need aircraft carriers. Please send aircraft carriers. We don't need any help opening the Strait of Hormuz, but we do need help opening the Strait of Hormuz, and you better send that help, otherwise we'll start bombing power stations, except we don't need to start bombing power stations because we don't actually need the Strait of Hormuz, only our allies use the Strait of Hormuz. It makes no difference to us. Anyway, it's good if the price of oil goes up, because we make lots of money, and pick your way out of that, people. Pick your way out of that. We don't need your help, and if anything bad happens, it will be all your fault. We do need your help, but if you don't send it, we will attack you. Even if you do send it, we'll attack you for sending it too late. While forgetting to mention that we said we didn't need it when we did, but we didn't, because it's not a war, it's an excursion that we have already won. Even though you can't win an excursion, you can only win a war. What do you do? How do you process unpicking? And the answer is the same as it was at the beginning of this mess, the same as it was at the beginning of this mess. And I still don't know what the answer is. I do know that if you were in favour of this madness, if you were the kind of clown that was using it as an opportunity to attack Keir Starmer, of all people, I do know that if you are so loaded to pieces of misogyny and climate change denial that you think Donald Trump is your man and a stand-up guy and you cheer it to the rafters, and down with international law and down with the Chilcot inquiry, and please let me stick my fingers in my ears and some things he's done. I do know, to describe you, that today you've been pretending to be furious about the fact that this is a
God damn, he ain't died yet.
to the treaty that Keir Starmer has recently signed. It's front-page news and the biggest story in town, hundreds of miles.
Oh, how the fuck you get that?
Hundreds of miles away. According to that's the biggest story in town.
You bitch.
He's empty. You're in very great danger of cauterizing your entire project. I'm curious that Keir Starmer didn't tell me about some missiles that landed hundreds of miles away from the British Air Base. Hello, is that the Daily Mail? Please make
I'm in Frisco with a shitload of green.
Sure thing, Cher. Heading your way now.
Responsible journalism. Journalism recognises the importance, for example, of international law that remembers the disaster of Iraq, that knows what the Chilcot inquiry was for, that can look at what we just described and see it clearly.
Just like I'm
It's an excursion. We've already we're going to change the regime. We don't need to change the regime. They've got a nuclear capability, but we destroyed their nuclear nuclear capability 9 months ago. They might get a nuclear capability, but there's no way they're going to get nuclear capability. We need to keep the Strait of Hormuz open. We don't need to keep the Strait of Hormuz open. We need your help. We don't need your help. Send an aircraft carrier. Don't send an aircraft carrier. We don't need your help. If we don't send your help, we're going to attack you. And insult you.
Here we
If
go.
we do send help, we're going to attack you.
I'm
And insult you.
stuck.
We are Donald Trump. A direct line. Kiss on the contours of our that's what one claims. Listen, I should have gone back and found the 40-odd words from a 20-minute conversation. I'll tell you what, if I had a 20-minute conversation with Donald Trump, I'd wait 40-odd words that I thought made sense, I'd consider it. In fact, whoever was charged with culling 40 comprehensive words from a 20-minute conversation with Donald Trump should get a bloody medal, or at least a promotion. Because so much of the world is still labouring under the illusion that there is anything remotely normal in it. It's a war, but it's not a war. We want, but we haven't won. We need your help. We don't need your help.
Go back and look over there.
We open a month. We open a year. It may never be over. I wasn't listening to a phrase.
Don't look back. Just get to the phone.
2 bills for the man who snuffs this butt. We're getting shot up. Get down here.
Here we are. Wondering what
Got nowhere to go. Someone's trying to ice me.
This stuff is supposed to be shooting.
Coming through. Do whatever you're gonna do. Just don't leave me to Olivia.
Deal. You may have picked up in the first 10 minutes of the program that there ain't number 2. Legality. The idea that international law should not matter is tantamount to international act. It is the final redoubt, the last resort of the unforgivable idiots. Because if international law doesn't matter what laws do, if countries aren't required to abide by internationally agreed treaties, why should people? And the answer is pretty clear. There's a character, there's a type of character. In the context of Donald Trump, it is a person so beloved of the racism, the misogyny, and the climate change denial that they don't think the laws and the rules should apply to their
Only way we're gonna hold on to Frisco Fields is if you send some of your boys.
Yes, of course. But remember me when opportunity knocks again.
Elections, still treating him like Dick Little John in the Daily Mail wants him to be Prime Minister. Of course. But that's about the racism, the misogyny, and the climate change. So you end up claiming that international law shouldn't matter. This is what they do to their families. God knows what they do to their critics. So it's got to be a clear and viable plan. It's got to be legal. And it's got to be in British interests. Which brings us, in case you wonder, to the question I am. British interests. So let me run through the laminated tube of figures that I, sweet summer child that I am, thought that everybody who does what I do for a living would at least have read one. Even if they weren't referring to it as a way, it's laminated. So I can keep it in the studio and other people could use it, but I don't know how many people are even aware of the fact that the Chilcot inquiry was conducted in large part to ensure that we didn't repeat mistakes of Tony Blair's excursion in Iraq, deliberate misuse of the word excursion, as opposed to Donald Trump's misuse of the word excursion, which is not deliberate. So why do we care? I'll run you through the 10 quickly, we'll come back and we'll answer them together. Why do we care? What is happening now? What might happen next? What should we do? How do we ensure action is lawful? What does success look like? What do we need to do to deliver? How should we do it? How will you monitor performance? Is the policy work?
Do you want to watch movies and TV shows for free on your phone? Let me guide you step by step. This app allows you to watch over 1,000 movies and TV shows anytime, anywhere.
They're calling for help.
The truth started long before you.
You made me watch.
What did you do to them, Henry?
Download now and start watching instantly.
I wish I would